This is Tom Colley for Through the Ropes Boxing. I'm delighted to be joined all the way from Wolverhampton with Gully, the Relentless Power. Gully, how are you, mate?
I'm alright, man. I just want to say thank you for having me on your platform. I'm just ready to talk about my journey and also what I'm going to do in 2024 and hopefully bring some big fights back to Wolverhampton.
Fantastic. Yeah, thank you for coming on, mate, and it's an absolute pleasure to have you on. So I know you just touching, like you say, on your journey. So how did you initially get into boxing, Gully? I know it's been a fast start for you in the pro game, but just taking it back initially to the amateurs and then stepping over pro, where did it all start for you?
So I started boxing when I was about 9 years old. It was just a hobby like any other sport. It was just something that I thought, my dad put me in it, and obviously because I was very hyperactive and I like to be physically active, doing sports and stuff all the time. My dad just put me in boxing one day, and I just carried on. Like it was a thing that I didn't like at first. Let's just say, It was a hobby I didn't like at first because obviously it's one of them sports where it's kind of like, you see it as a dangerous sport, especially at a young age. But it's something I definitely fell in love with very quick as well. I just went into boxing, had my first sparring session. I got stopped with a body shot, and then I came back next week, carried on sparring. I just improved, and then I had my first girls back in the first 6 months, and after that, I've never stopped boxing. I've just enjoyed it, and now I'm 21. I think it's my 11th year going into boxing. I love it to bits now.
Good man. So yeah, you started at 11 years old then, so got in the game early, which I think you see all the time. It definitely gives fighters a massive leg up, in terms of where they can go in their career. It's definitely a massive advantage. How many amateur fights did you have in the end, Gully, before you turned over?
So I had 41 amateurs and I won 32.
Yeah.
I did actually win the National Senior Elite title, but I'll talk about that after. But I did win 5 million titles. I got obviously national semi-elites, schoolboy semi-finals, national senior elite semi-finals. No, I was at the top level at all times. It's just unfortunately my style was never made for the amateur game, and it just went against me. But with the semi senior elite title, what I was obviously chasing to get, that's something that I really wanted to get because that put me on the map. You know what I mean? But I needed to stop the guy with a body shot in the third round. It was a competitive fight, but the third round I literally just nearly stopped him. He was running away from me and stuff, whatever. But the judges did it a different way. It was probably I'd say the reason why I turned pro. You know what I mean? Because it was so how did I just lose that fight when I was nearly stopped him? And also the rounds were even though it was close, I was still dominating, still landing the better shots, still landing combination punches. But yeah, that's the reason why I turned pro, but it is what it is. I had a good amateur pedigree. I was always constantly fighting. I was always fit. You know what I mean? And that's just been my journey with the amateurs. So, but I did still win 5 million titles, and I still did get to the top level. I was in the top 10 Tri-Nations at one point as well. So, I still achieved a lot of great things. It's just that I really did want that senior elite title. I think that would have put me on the map. But, on to the next, I guess, and that's when I turned pro, and I'm here now.
Fantastic, and it's safe to say that you've carried that on into the pro game. So I think, am I right in saying you turned pro last year and you had 7 fights? You got out seven times this year.
Yeah. So it's been, I'd say, 14 months now, and I've had 7 fights. And I'm the type of fighter that'd fight every month if I could. You know what I mean? I just want to fight all the time. I think I just stay in the gym all the time. I'm always focused. I'm always locked in. After my fights, I look back at what I need to improve on. You know what I mean? And I like inspiring the next generation, let's just say, with all the clips I post on Instagram and stuff like that, the training montage I do. It's just, even though they're 10-second clips, it's always inspiring as well for me, but also for myself, my own legacy, and being one of the very few Sikh fighters, Punjabi fighters coming up to the ranks. I think is definitely something I want to create, which is a legacy for our people. And I'm here for everybody. You know what I mean? I'm here to inspire everybody, but it's just that I need that one fighter to go to the extra mile to kind of put Punjabi fighters on the map, let's just say, and then that would just take me to a whole new level and inspire the next generation, whatever. But I used to work in schools and stuff, so I love inspiring and stuff, and that's something I definitely want to keep on doing as well.
Fantastic, and I think it's safe to say as well, Gully, that obviously that's a fantastic purpose to be fighting for, and not only that, but I know you fought last time out against Gomez, and he was a great. He was a good fight. How did it feel getting back in the
Yeah,
ring and getting back in there? Did you feel good? Did you feel sharp?
yeah, I felt spot on. Like, I had a great camp for this fight. I was waking up at 5:30 in the morning. I was focused. I was ready. And because it was my first time on the big platform, I was just ready to put on a great show
Yeah,
and just put a show on in Wolverhampton. Obviously, I'm from Wolverhampton, and it was literally about 5 minutes away from my house. So went there, boom, did the business. You know what I mean? And I think I impressed the promoters mostly with my skill and my attributes of what I did. And now we're just hopefully looking at some big fights in 2024, and that's my aim. Like, that's what I've dreamed of, and that's what I manifest. You know what I mean? I just believe in myself, so I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing. I'm going to continue working hard, and most of all, inspiring and
yeah.
creating a legacy that I will create, and so on.
7 fights last year. Obviously ended on a high note on a big platform. It's sort of a throwback, really, having that many fights in a year to the old school fighters like Sugar Ray Robinson that were getting out every month or so. It's obviously big shoes to go into again in 2024 and try and replicate that and obviously progress. What is your aim for 2024, Gully?
So I've got loads of aims at the moment. I don't know which one to grab straightforward, but yeah, I wanna fight for the Super Bantamweight English title. There's a fighter called Zayn Sayed. He's fighting for it. Good fighters, you know what I mean. I respect him, but that's what I want. I want the English title. I want it soon as well. I'm ready for the big title fights, and then after that, I'm just gonna grab any title I possibly can. I'm hungry for it. I'm always ready to get these titles. But whatever comes my way, let's just say let's just for example IBO Intercontinental, whatever that comes my way at Super Bantamweight, I'll take it with two hands and I'll fight because I'm a fighter and like I've got the old school mentality where I want to keep on fighting and continue on my journey and stuff. So yeah, and I'm also going to bring that mindset back as well, where people want to see you fighting it, and that's what they want to do. I always remember, like, I always see comments, people saying you want to fight all the time, and I like they want to see fighters fight all the time at top level, and I think I will do that. Like, I will be definitely fighting quite a lot. Like, even if it's something I can just possibly do, just to keep entertaining the people, and obviously once again be a legacy for myself. I was really different in the sport of boxing. I want to create something different for myself as well, and say that I was very active in my career. I was very focused, and when the time's right, obviously I'm talking about retirement already, but when the time's right, obviously I can look back and say, I achieved everything I want to achieve, and I believe I will, and I'm going to continue to do so.
So is the aim for you, Gully, is to go all the way, world titles?
Yeah, definitely. That's something I've always wanted to be. Like, I take it step by step.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The last fight I had was a little step up fight. The next fight's going to be a little step up fight. I'm going to take them. I'm going to keep knocking them down one by one. And, I'm, like, once again, like, I've sparred top opposition fighters. I know my ability. I believe in myself. And most of all, obviously, I believe in God as well. So I keep I keep humble and I stay humble all the time. And I'm willing to help the next gen and help people out in the gym or whatever. But the main thing for me is like just staying focused. I just want to stay focused at all times, because obviously I know how hard this sport is and the distractions that come with it. But if I just stay focused and stay locked into my own craft and keep working hard, I'll reap the rewards. And I believe in hard work beats talent. You know what I mean? So I actually worked hard to get my talent type of thing. So like I say, like I just want to continue working step by step. Everyone will see the road.
And I can feel your sort of desire through the screen, and I know this is a virtual interview. Hopefully, at some point down the line, we can get together face to face as well. But I can feel it's coming across, and how much you want this, and how determined you are to get that. So, and then that's brilliant. So, in terms of the world titles, then Gully, I know 7 fights in. Do you have a sort of roadmap in your head as to when you'd like to get there, or sort of any aims as to how long you want to be until you get into that position to fight for world titles?
Whenever I'm ready. And I'll say, if I'm going to look at it like in a perspective of my age and stuff, I'm 21, and I don't think there's any doubt in my mind that I can't get there. Obviously, I will get there. Salvador Sanchez was 21 when he won the world title against Danny Lopez, I think his name was. And the way I see it is, if the old school fighters are fighting so young, and he was a great champion, you know what I mean? Why can't I get to that stage as well? You know what I mean? A lot of great champions. Shakur Stevenson was young, Devin Haney, Lopez, you know what I mean? Teofimo. I look at all these fighters and I think it's because I got the desire and the mentality. So that just gives me more inspiration for myself to get to where I want to be. And I study all these great fighters like Inoue. He's a super bantamweight king right now, in my opinion. You know, unified, undisputed bantamweight. And I look at all these fighters. I take one little attribute from each fighter and I put it in my own style, and that creates me as a fighter. And I think that's what I do. I study a lot of boxing and also the history of it as well, because it's important to know where boxing came from. Let's just say, you know, where the times were, whatever. But yeah, like I would say, I wouldn't be surprised by 2026, man. The way I'm moving, with my mindset and stuff. As long as I stay focused, I can get there, and I will stay focused. So I would say 2026 would be a big year for me. Maybe 2027. I think every year is just going to be a bigger year. It's just going to be a big step to where I want to be, and eventually we'll get to where we want to be.
Brilliant. And you mentioned Inoue there. So he's the king of the division in the super bantamweight. Is that an aim that, you know, you see yourself in a few years' time? Someone you'd like to fight? He's obviously a monster in the division.
Yeah, definitely. Inoue's a monster. Like, you know, I respect him as a fighter. Like his desire, his skill level, and you know, if that fight comes down the line, I'll take it as well. You know what I mean? I'm a fighter at the end of the day. But first thing I want to do is get some sparring rounds with him at this stage. I would love to just get some sparring rounds with him. But if that fight comes down the line, you know what I mean, I'll take it, because at the end of the day, if you want to be a great champion in the sport of boxing, you have to beat these champions. If you want to be a Hall of Famer, you want to be a legacy maker, these are the fights that I'm going to win. And obviously, I'm still quite early on in my career saying this, you know what I mean? So I've got to take every fight that comes and I'll stay focused on that.
Yeah.
But when the time's right, if that fight does come down the line, you know, you never know, man. You could see Inoue versus Gully one day for the undisputed, I don't know, Super Bantamweight Championship again.
And do you believe with experience you can win that fight?
Yeah, I think if I stay focused, I definitely will.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's all about self-belief. If I don't believe in myself, no one else will. And I think at the end of the day, all these great champions that have been out there, Roberto Duran, Salvador Sanchez, like I mentioned, Wilfredo Gomez, they all had this desire to be a great champion. So if you want to be the best of the best, you have to believe in yourself, and I definitely do. Same with Mayweather. He fought great champions at such a young age, Castillo and all these guys, and he was taking it with two hands and fighting them and beating them. And, you know, that's what I'm going to do as well. I just got to do what I got to do, I guess.
Still only 21 years old, fighting at Super Bantamweight at the moment. Do you feel like your future's at Super Bantamweight, or do you think, you know, as you get a bit older, you might move up into the higher divisions? Are you struggling to make the weight? Do you make the weight comfortably?
Yeah, like, to be fair, I was fighting at a higher weight. To be fair, when I was in the amateurs, I could have been a bit more disciplined with my weight. I would have got down to under 57, which is basically borderline super bantam and featherweight. Because my first pro fight was actually at under 125 pounds, which is near the super bantamweight limit. But yeah, I've never really, like, when I was a kid, like in 2017, I was fighting at 52 kg anyway. It's just due to lockdown, my weight went really high. That's the reason why I went up to 60 kilo. But now that I got a nutritionist put in place and stuff, my weight just drops quickly. So yeah, I can make super bantamweight, and I have made it already. You know what I mean? For my last fight, we was only a pound over the weight limit a week before. But now, but obviously, I've only got to change the Angel Gomez. I had to go all the way back to super featherweight in the space of 4 or 5 days. So I had to get that nutrition food in, get healthy, and do it healthily. Because if I was just eating raw food, let's just say, and just keep eating all this food, like, it would just bloat me, you know what I mean, which is not good. So good thing my nutritionist is on board. He's a good guy, you know what I mean, he knows what he's talking about. And that's why I was so sharp in that fight. I had to put that weight back on ASAP, so he knew exactly what I needed to do. And yeah, but if let's just clear up super bantamweight division, I'll clear the division out, then we move up to featherweight, then go to super featherweight. That's what I've got planned. But at the moment, I'm just looking at the next fight, see what happens. You know what I mean? I'm gonna stay focused, stay locked in, get the rounds in, get a stoppage. I don't ever look for a stoppage, but if the stoppage comes, I'll get it. And after that, step by step, we'll get to where we want to be.
So 2026 in Inoue v Gully Powar.
Definitely, man. It's got to be like that.
I love that, mate. I love that. And so you touched on some great fighters there, Gully, the likes of Roberto Duran, Floyd Mayweather, obviously fighters of the past. Just on that, who is your favourite fighter of all time?
So I would say, this is a tough question for me. Salvador Sanchez has got to be my favourite. It's just because of his mindset. Like, I don't think I ever heard him disrespect any of his opponents. The way he was beating champion after champion at such a young age. He's basically my age when he was beating all these champions. The way he was beating Danny Lopez, he dethroned Wilfredo Gomez, the Super Bantamweight king. He beat Azuma Nelson. Azuma Nelson's a dangerous fighter as well. Like, these guys are great champions, you know what I mean? And he was beating them proper, like, he 15-round fights, taking them out in the later rounds, and it was like the 15th round looked exactly the way he did in the first round. So it's like his stamina was just next level. And like I've watched all his fights, and he just doesn't look like he's taking a deep breath. Like, I run 7-8 miles nearly every day, and like, obviously I want to get that stamina, and obviously I am one of the fittest out there, I would say, personally, because of my fitness and my mindset as well. But with him, it was just like that. It inspires me to see how fit he was to fight against top level fighters and not be tired. And the way he's getting hit in the body, and like, I was just thinking, wow. And like, it kind of stuck. Like, I kind of just kept watching him, and each fight I watched, I just seen how great he was as a champion. Like, he wasn't just a Mexican warrior able to go toe to toe. He's a very skillful fighter. He knew exactly what he was doing. The ring IQ. You know what I mean? The way he beat Wilfredo Gomez, I don't think I've ever seen Gomez get beat like that again, except for Azuma Nelson, and that was past his prime, in my opinion. So, to dethrone somebody who had 32 fights, 32 wins, and 32 knockouts the way he did is impressive, in it. So, like, obviously, I've been studying it and all sorts, but yeah, I'd say Salvador, and I'd say Roberto Duran after that, because Duran was just the next level, wasn't he? The way he went all the way from lightweight to middleweight to go 15 rounds with Marvin Hagler.
Yeah.
It's just like, how can you say he's not one of the greatest to do it? And once again, it's a legacy, isn't it? They all believed in themselves, you know what I mean? Like, when Roberto Duran was at lightweight, he didn't ever tell anybody he didn't believe in himself. He went there, took these guys out, I think he lost against Esteban Jesus, that was the guy. Came back, beat him twice to dethrone him and to prove to everybody he was the best. And that's the mindset you got to have as a fighter. And I think the best fighters in the world will always have that.
100%. Gully, I just wanted to get your thoughts. Big Saudi Arabia card this weekend. Some incredible fights. Some people saying it's the best card that they've ever seen put on. So I wanted to reel off a couple of names to you and just get your thoughts on some of these fights. So,
yeah, I was just gonna say I'm looking forward to the Joshua fight, to be honest, because I'm looking forward to the most.
How do you see that? How do you see Joshua Wallen going, Gully?
I'm a big fan of Joshua, I can't lie to you. I think Joshua's going to win 6th, 7th round knockout. I don't know which round, but I think he'll just catch him with a straight right hand down the pipe, innit? I think Otto Wine's a good fighter, but styles makes fight. When he fought Tyson Fury, I think Tyson Fury struggled because he might have been a southpaw, in my opinion. I don't think I've ever seen Tyson Fury actually fight a southpaw. But I think Joshua's got the right, Otto Wallin is not as sick as music, let's just say. He's good, but Joshua, if you catch him with that one right hand down the pipe, he's taking him out. But Otto Wallin, I'm not going to put him down or anything, because he's a good fighter as well. And when I seen him fight Tyson Fury, I was kind of impressed. I would say 7th round knockout for Joshua. That's what I'm going for.
Deontay Wilder versus Joseph Parker.
See, this is a good question now, because I think Joseph Parker is a good champion as well, but I think Wilder will just catch him as well. It just takes one punch in heavyweight boxing, but it could go the other way. Like, I say this all now, same with Joshua fight, it could just happen the other way. Like, Joseph Parker might catch and Deontay Wilder and hurt him, but I don't know. I just say 4th round to Deontay Wilder. And I like Joseph Parker, man. I think he's a sick fighter as well. Like, he's a proper humble person as well. Read seen his interviews and stuff, but I think Wilder's just a little bit like the next level, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just a respective opinion, really. That's what it is.
They've both got tough fights. Neither guys is going to be a walkover. That's for sure. Another one, not Joseph Parker. Daniel Dubois, Jarrell Miller. Interesting fight. What are your thoughts on that one?
That's forgot about that one. I think Daniel Dubois will beat him as well. I think Jarrell Miller, I don't know. To be fair, I don't know too much about him. I just remember him arguing with Joshua. Like, that's what I remember him for. But I'd say I think Daniel Dubois will beat him. I think Daniel Dubois got the speed, doesn't he? And but I like Daniel Dubois as well. I think he's a good fighter. But I've not actually watched Jarrell Miller, so I can't really put 2 and 2 together. I might have to watch him there to see what he's like. But I'm going with Daniel Dubois. I don't know what about though, because I don't know how the guy fights, to be fair.
And just finally, Jared Patai's a
I was,
beast.
yeah, I was gonna say he's a future heavyweight champion in my opinion.
You reckon he'll go to heavy?
He's a monster.
He
reminds me of like Javante Davis a little bit.
Yeah.
The way he hits, like commitment to his punches. Sorry to cut you off there, but I just have to talk about it because I've watched his fight against the last fight he fought. I forgot the guy he fought. Monster, man. Like and that guy was good as well. Like so, all these fighters are good that he's fighting. He beat Breedis, didn't he? Marius Breedis.
No, did he fight Breedis in the end? He beat the guy.
Yeah, he did.
Did he?
Yeah, he did. I'm pretty sure he did. Yeah. Because I watched it the other day, and someone mentioned it to me, and I did watch it. And he's like, it's like the way he's coming, like, and his mentality. He just stays in the gym as well. I like his mentality. He's got a lot of fire in him, which is good. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. There's just a lot of great fights. So to be fair, I can't wait to see them.
There is. I mean, we could sit here and talk about them all night, I'm sure. Just finally, just because you touched on Jared Pataiar, if Usyk was still at cruiserweight, how do you see that fight going?
Who's that? With him and who? Sorry.
Usyk and Jared Pataiar. If Usyk stayed at cruiser,
I'd say Jared Pataiar would beat him, man.
Wow.
I think there's just something. It's his desire. It's his desire. You can see he burns with desire. Like his mindset as well. Like when you hear him talk, got a lot of passion and he believes in himself. And as a fighter, there's a certain type of energy, like a fighting spirit. He's got like a true fighting spirit in him, and like I can see him just rolling. Like I know it's too early to say because Usyk's a great fighter as well, but it's like I can see something like something good, man. And he's a good fighter as well. So it's just the way he commits to his punches. That he's got bad intentions. You know what I mean? But yeah, great. He's a great fighter. And they all are, to be fair. Everyone on that show is good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to every single fight. Like I think it's a stacked card, and I think everybody's going to be happy with the fights on that night.
Well, Gully, thank you very much for speaking to Through the Ropes Boxing. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on. Looking forward to watching you next year, and I expect we're going to see a big 2024 from you.
Definitely, man. I can't wait for 2024. It's going to be a big year. But also, thank you for having me on your platform as well. I appreciate that.
Anytime, mate. All the best, Gully.
Nice one.
Take care.